Okay, here's another video blog. This time we're talking about the video of the little boy. Okay, basically the video is like this. I'm sure most of you have seen it because it's been posted all over. It's in my links if you need to go look for it. So it appears to be a man and a woman in some type of fast food restaurant or something like that. The man turns away and he's talking on a cell phone. You see a little child who is probably within the age of between 3 and 6 walk into camera view. The guy on the phone, for no apparent reason, as it appears, hauls off and kicks him. And then, of course, the little boy's daddy done hauled off and knocked him the fuck out. Now, someone is trying to say that the comments I made regarding that video are creating a negative stereotype against black people, etc., 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 etc. Now, here is what I say to this. Number one, I'm a parent. I'm sure all of you who have children that you care about and take care of, I must stress that because some of you don't even give a fuck about your children, let alone if they get kicked by some man, would have the exact same reaction as the father in that video. My first reaction would not be to ask, does this man have any cognitive issues? Does he have any mental disabilities or physical challenges or anything like that? I would not be asking any questions whatsoever. My reaction would be, get that motherfucker down on the ground, beat his ass, whatever the case may be. Here's why. I have a duty as a parent to protect my child. The correct response for me, may not be for you, but for me, and I'm sure most parents, would be, I need to show my child that I am protective of my child. Meaning no man, okay, mentally challenged or not, can walk up to my child and haul off and kick them. End of story. Doesn't happen. Never will. Ever. And walk away without catching a good cough in your mouth or something else a little more extravagant. Now, Jamaicans, please forgive me and correct me if I am casting a negative stereotypical shadow on you guys when I say, had that man been Jamaican, he may have gotten shot instead of a punch in his mouth. Now, chances are, that's a true statement. As far as I know, Jamaicans are pretty protective of their children, as are most people. It's human nature to be protective of your offspring, as are animals. It's nature in general to be protective of your offspring. So, yeah, first reaction would be, hurt that motherfucker, quick. So, now, apparently, I guess this story was in the news, and the man who kicked the child has a mental capacity of a 3-year-old. Now, my son, as a 3-year-old, understands, number one, kicking is wrong. When my son was 3, he was well aware of this. Not saying that he never did it, but he damn well knew it was wrong. Why? Because when you asked him what he did or why he got in trouble, he would try and lie about it, as most children would do. So, it's like this. The woman who was in care of this mentally challenged man had the duty, the responsibility, and the obligation to ensure that if this person has certain things, maybe children or loud noises or sudden movements that trigger them to be violent, they had a duty, a responsibility, and an obligation to ensure that those type of distractions were not in contact with this person to set him off to be a danger to somebody else. At the end of the day, mentally challenged people as grown adults are very strong, physically strong people, as are autistic children. So, no matter which way you slice the cake, even though those children may have had the same mental capacity, that man, may I repeat, man kicked a child, a toddler. So no matter which way you slice it, it doesn't fucking even out, and I would have decked his ass same way too. Sometimes, like my mom used to say, who doesn't hear will feel. So if you don't get the point of somebody telling you kicking is wrong, guess what? One day, you're gonna feel that it's wrong, as that man did in this video. So, I don't think the father was in the wrong whatsoever. As a matter of fact, kudos to you, Daddy, because what did you do? You showed your child that at no point in time can anybody, under any circumstances, do anything physically harmful or mentally harmful to you and not pay the repercussions if your parent is in the vicinity. And I'm sorry, as a parent, I have to vouch that I would never ever have my child thinking that I would not be there to protect them 110,000,000% under any circumstance. So, mentally challenged or not, no adult, no teenager, no child could come abuse my child in front of me and not have me do something about it. I'm not saying I'm going to haul off and beat a child for getting in a fight with my son. If they're of the same age, same size, etc., then that's something that they need to be sat down and discussed. But had an 18-year-old done that to my kid, I'd kick his ass too. Had a 24-year-old done that, a 55-year-old, an 85-year-old, I'd kick your ass, okay? So unless you're 5 years and younger, you'd be in some trouble. I'm not saying I'm going to beat up a minor child or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying, so please don't take it that way. What I'm saying is, in the circumstances, as it were, that man, that father, was not aware of the fact that that man that kicked his child was mentally challenged, nor would it be reasonable to think that that man would stop and question the man's mental capacity or physical challenges or mental challenges before taking action for somebody kicking his child for absolutely no reason. So no, I do not think I'm casting a negative shadow on the black community when I say kudos to him. Any black parent would have done the damn same thing. And chances are any white parent would have done the same thing. Case in point, white parents like to kick off and half kill each other over hockey games because somebody's kid didn't pass the ball to so-and-so, or they body checked him too hard, and they go off and they kill each other over it. There have been numerous parents that have died at soccer games and hockey games, etc., over bullshit like that. So for a black man to haul off and knock out a mentally challenged person for kicking his child, I'm not going to sit here and say that I would condemn that man for doing so. I cannot say that afterwards, me hitting that person, I wouldn't then question, well, what is wrong with you that you would want to kick my toddler? And then afterwards, no, I would not apologize. I would inform that person who's the caregiver of that mentally challenged person that they need to step up on their duty. Case in point, you don't take autistic children and put them in areas that cause them stress or aggravation or things that may set them off to do things and act impulsively. You're mindful of these things. You take note of these things. You create environments that are soothing and calming for them so that they don't have these outbursts. It's the same thing with people who are ADHD. You don't stick them in a room with a shitload of distractions and expect them to learn. You cater their environment to their behaviors. Clearly, this person's environment was not catered to their behavior. There must be something about children, or perhaps the child's sudden movements, noises, or something like that that set this person off in order for them to kick that person. And this mentally challenged person is clearly of an age where people have had a numerous length of time to figure out the triggers and things that set this person off, so that should have been taken into consideration. So do I think this person deserved to get a good cuff in their mouth and knocked out? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I will stand by that, and people can argue with me until they're blue in the face. I will not change my opinion on this. As a parent, I would have done the exact same thing over and 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 over, so help me God. And that's just it. So that's my opinion on that video. Let me know. I would like people to feedback on this, male and female, women as mothers and males as fathers. Please add your input into this. Would you be the type to have done the same thing as that man? Would your first reaction be to knock out whoever just kicked your child before asking what was wrong with them, who they are, their age, etc.? What would your first reaction be to some seemingly normal person walking up and kicking your child? And yes, let me correct, because seemingly normal can be questionable, because Down syndrome people have physical characteristics that let you know they have Down syndrome. Yes, that's fine. But, as I said before, my first reaction would not be to look at the face and question the mental capacity of the person. It would be protect my child and knock that fucker out. Okay, so that's my opinion. What's yours?